Right, I need you to watch this carefully, because what happened at this press conference today is one of the most extraordinary things I have ever seen at a boxing event. John Fury, 60 years old, completely loses it. Not a little bit, not in a jokey pantomime way, properly loses it. And Carl Froch is right there, 15 seconds from going live on Netflix, trying to hold himself together while this is happening right behind him. The room shifts, security moves, and for about 30 seconds, nobody in that building knows what is about to happen next. Let me break down every single second of it. To really understand why this exploded the way it did, you need to know what was simmering underneath for months before anyone walked into that building. Carl Froch has been on his YouTube channel, one of the most watched boxing channels in the country right now, and he has been saying things about John Fury that the rest of the sport has been thinking but keeping to themselves. The headbutting incident with Carl Frampton, the way John Fury conducts himself at press conferences, the bullying and intimidation of people who are not in a position to fight back. Froch put it all out there in plain English and did not apologize for any of it. Now, for most people, that stays as online content. A bit of back and forth, maybe a response video, and then it fades. But John Fury does not do online back and forth. John Fury does in person. And when the Tyson Fury versus Makhmudov press conference comes around, and Froch is booked by Netflix to work as a pundit, the ingredients are all in the same room at the same time. And anyone who knows John Fury even slightly knew this was not going to end quietly. So here is exactly what happened. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Netflix cameras everywhere. Tyson Fury on stage being Tyson Fury. Big, entertaining, larger than life. The kind of event the sport does not always pull off, but this one has been put together properly. Froch is up in the broadcast area working for Netflix, elevated from the main floor, visible to everyone in the room, professional setting, professional capacity, doing his job. And then John Fury sees him. And this is where it changes. Because the shift in John Fury's energy is immediate, and it is visible to everyone around him. He starts moving through the crowd, and the people near him start moving out of the way instinctively. Not because anyone told them to, because the body language alone is enough. Security clocks it almost immediately. He gets as close to Froch as the layout of the room allows, and then he lets rip. Full volume, swearing, shouting, pointing, the whole performance turned up to maximum. And Froch is right there above him, looking down, keeping it together. Just about. Now here is the detail that most people have missed in the coverage of this. Froch has 15 seconds until he goes live on air for Netflix. 15 seconds. Lennox Lewis, who is standing right next to him, tells him to ignore it, keep it professional. And Froch, who every single instinct in his body is telling him to respond, bites his tongue so hard you can almost feel it through the screen. Goes on air, does his job, complete professional. Meanwhile, John Fury is in the background still going, still absolutely going. Right, so let's actually break down what the footage captures because it has been shared everywhere, and there are details in it that are easy to miss if you are just watching it casually. The first thing that hits you is the physicality of it. This is not two men having a heated verbal exchange from a safe distance. John Fury is close, uncomfortably close. The kind of close that in any other setting would have already become something physical. And the people around him in the footage are reacting to that proximity in real time. You can see them adjusting, shifting, creating space. The second thing is Froch's face, because if you watch him closely while all of this is happening, you can see the exact moment the professional in him wins the battle against the fighter. There is a flash of something in his expression, anger, maybe the beginning of a response, and then it gets locked down, controlled, and he turns to the camera and does his job. The third thing, and this is the one that keeps coming up from people who were in that room, is that the footage does not show everything. There are angles that were not caught on camera, moments in the seconds before and after the main clip that people there on the day are describing as even more volatile than what went viral. Multiple sources, people with no connection to either camp, consistent accounts. What the internet saw was serious. What actually happened in that room was apparently more serious still. So the press conference ends. The footage goes everywhere almost immediately, and the boxing world starts reacting in real time. Froch drops a response video, and it goes properly viral. Millions of views. He calls John Fury a bully, says he would have volleyed him back down the stairs if he had come up to the platform, says the fighting man in him wanted to respond in that moment so badly it was physically difficult to hold back. And you believe every word of it, because Froch is not someone who performs emotion for the camera. What you see with Froch is what is actually there. John Fury does not go quiet, not even slightly. He drops his own videos, multiple of them, walking down a street looking pale and intense, like something out of a film, threatening Froch and Joe Egan simultaneously, calling Froch a worm, saying he is not a man, saying the people who could vouch for how dangerous he really is are all dead and gone. Make of that what you will. He also does something that nobody saw coming. After spending one video saying he would not fight Froch because he did not want to give him a payday, he drops another video almost immediately, calling Froch out for the Tottenham undercard and telling Netflix to contact him directly. And then Froch accepts, publicly, on camera. Just like that, this thing has a venue, a potential date, and a life that nobody in that press conference room could have predicted when the day started. Now here is the bit that I think gets lost in all the drama and the viral clips and the back and forth videos. The actual reason John Fury reacted the way he did in that room. Yes, Froch had been talking about him on YouTube. Yes, there was months of built-up frustration. But sources close to the situation point to something more specific than that. Something about the dynamic of that particular setting that pushed John Fury over a line he might otherwise have stayed behind. The Netflix context matters. Froch is sitting in a broadcast position. He is there as an expert, as a pundit, as someone Netflix has brought in specifically to give informed opinions on the Fury world. John Fury is on the floor below. And there is something about that specific image, Froch elevated in a professional capacity, on a platform that the Fury family does not control, talking about them, that apparently got to John Fury in a way that went beyond just being annoyed at YouTube comments. It became about respect. Old school, deeply personal, non-negotiable respect. And when John Fury feels that has been crossed, there is no internal filter that kicks in. No calculation about how this looks or what the consequences might be. Just the reaction. Raw and immediate and completely uncontrollable. Gareth Davies, who has spoken to John Fury face-to-face about this, said Fury told him directly he will not tolerate being called out publicly by anyone. Not for money, not for optics, not for any reason. And in that press conference room, with the cameras rolling and the boxing world watching, Carl Froch represented exactly that. Someone who had been calling him out publicly and was now sitting above him on a platform that amplified it. So he exploded, and the whole world watched. So where does all of this actually leave us? Because the explosion at the press conference is one thing. What it has set in motion is something else entirely. We now have a situation where a 60-year-old man with no professional boxing experience has called out a 4-time world champion Hall of Famer. And the Hall of Famer has said yes. Publicly. On record. In front of his entire audience. The venue is there. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The event is there. Tyson Fury versus Makhmudov. The platform is there. Netflix. Everything that a fight needs to exist is already in place. What is missing is the official confirmation, the contracts, the formal announcement. And here is what makes this different from every other John Fury confrontation that has come and gone over the years. This time, there is a credible opponent who means it. Froch is not going to quietly let this disappear because his brand will not allow it. He said he would fight him, and Carl Froch does not say things he does not mean. People close to the situation are saying conversations are happening. Nothing signed, nothing official yet, but conversations. And 3 weeks ago, there were no conversations at all. That is movement, real movement. What happened at that press conference was extraordinary. One man's inability to control himself in a room, combined with another man's extraordinary self-control. in the same moment, has produced one of the most compelling stories British boxing has seen in years. John Fury exploded. Carl Froch absorbed it, went on air, did his job, and then came back harder. And now we might actually have a fight. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did John Fury go too far? And is this fight happening at Tottenham? Until next time.